Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 1, observing the army on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. It's also called Sainya Darshan. And today we will discuss the shloka number 39. So let us chant the shloka. Kulakshaye pranashyanti
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति
kula dharma sanatanaha
कुलधर्मा सनातनाः
me nashte kulam kritsnam
धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम्
dharmo abhibhavatyuta.
अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युत
Kulakshaye pranashyanti
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति
kula dharma sanatanaha
कुलधर्माः सनातनाः
me nashte kulam kritsnam
धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम्
dharmo abhibhavatyuta.
अधर्म्योऽभिभवत्युत
Please chant.
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्माः सनातनाः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्यम् अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युत
कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्मा सनातनः धर्मे नस्ते कुलं कृष्णम् अधर्मो विभवत्युत
धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मोऽपि भवत्युत.
Okay, so let's read the translation and purport. With the destruction of the dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanquished, and thus rest of the family becomes involved in irreligion. Purport. In the system of Varnashram institution, there are many principles of religious traditions to help members of the family grow properly and attain spiritual values. The elder members are responsible for such purifying processes in the family, beginning from the birth to death. But on the death of the elder member, such family traditions of purification may stop, and thus remaining younger family members may develop irreligious habits and thereby lose their chance for spiritual salvation. Therefore, for no purpose should the elder members of the family be slain. So here Arjuna is continuing his talk with Krishna, and he is explaining, or he is putting forward his arguments why he don't want to fight, or why he is still not prepared to fight. So yesterday, so he started with the reason that killing our own acharya and gurus, it's a great sin, so we should not do this sin. And yesterday sloka we saw that though the Kaurav army is overcome by greed and they don't know what's the religion, what's adharma in killing our own kinsman, but we understand this, so why we should do this activity. And now he's saying, if so yesterday shloka there was description of, if we kill the aggressors, or if we kill the um, our brother, his relatives, brothers and everyone, then what will happen? Why? Because there is mention of sinful activity. So why sinful activity is explained here, that because the elder family members of the uh, that particular elder members of the family will be no more existing, the passing of the tradition or religious principles will be stopped. And in India and some other countries, we have very great experience. Like I also have experience of my grandparents teaching us all the good values that we should follow in our regular day-to-day life, right from what time we should wake up, what time we should sleep, and when we should pray, how we should pray, how the festival should be celebrated. So our generation has got these values or these teachings from our grandparents, but we can very clearly see that our sons may get some values from us, but our grandchildren or one more generation after that, we are really not sure where they will be, and they will get this our original tradition or not, or they will just adopt to the tradition where they will be living in that particular time. So kula dharma is mentioned here. So we all have our main kula or the dynasty in which we are born. And for that particular kula, we have particular kula daivat or the village where our deity is there, which we all in this kula should worship. So Arjuna is mentioning like kulakshaye pranashanti. If the family is destroyed, then it becomes vanquished. What? Kula dharma. So what are the activities that we should do in our kula? Those are finished. And here Arjuna is using the word sanatana. Actually, sanatana means the eternal. But here the meaning of this word sanatana is can be taken as a long time, because this kula dharma, as Arjuna is also mentioning, may finish in future. So it's not eternal, but the time span is so long that from our perspective, it can be said as it's eternal, because our grandparents and their parents, they are following this. So it's a long period of time. From that angle, it is can be understood that it's a sanatan, means it's a longer, very longer period of time. And once these elderly people are no more existing in the family, then all the teachings are stopped. And then the next generation who didn't get any information about their kula or what is their kula dharma or what are the rules, what are the traditions that they follow, then they adopt, I was saying, that they will adopt the processes or the dharma or the values of the society in which they are staying. So it's not that those values will be bad, but those values will may be very of a different standard than their original kula dharma. So in that case, the that particular dynasty's kula dharma is already finished, and Arjuna is using these as a reason that if we kill all these people who are on this battlefield, then the kula dharma will be vanquished, and then the next generation of this kula will be doing the religious activities, because they don't know what is a religious activity and what should be done, what should not be done. There's no one to teach. So this is very closely related with our day-to-day life, and mostly like very important, because we who are not staying now in India are staying away from our parents or our grandparents, and our children, they are not in touch with our ancestors or our seniors who teach all these things. So we who are taking care of our immediate next generation, we have that responsibility to share with them about our kula and what is the processes that are followed in our kula. So we can at least try to pass on this information to the next generation, and a generation after our the next generation, if it's not, if we get chance we can, but if we cannot get the chance, then maybe we cannot fulfill that, but at least we can pass on whatever possible to the next generation, so our sons and our daughters, so at least they will know, and maybe they will get some sukruti that they will try to pass on to the next generation. So this kula dharma is important to maintain a dharmic or sattvic atmosphere in the varnashram system and in the society, and we have that great responsibility. And Arjuna is also mentioning this reason, so doing this activity is also very important. But Arjuna is talking about this kula dharma, which is connected with the body and bodily identifications and bodily relationships. But there is another Sanatan Dharma, that is the relationship of the Atma or the soul, and relationship of the Atma with the Supreme Atma or the Supreme Lord. So that understanding our own identification and relationship with the super soul or relationship with the Supreme Lord, this is actually the Sanatan Dharma of each and every soul that we should follow, and we should try to conduct this, reach this Sanatan Dharma. And Arjuna here is mostly talking based on his temporary bodily relationships and kula related to those temporary bodily relationships. And our bodily relationships are going to finish today or tomorrow. When we leave this body, everything connected with the body is going to finish. So from that angle, Arjuna is focusing a very limited view of his relatives and his friends, and he's not in line with the eternal dharma of the soul. So from that angle, he is a little bit in illusion, or he's confused about his real dharma. And Krishna will be teaching him, or the Krishna will give answer to all these his doubts in the subsequent verses, and he tries to tell Arjuna that how his concept and what the way he's thinking is wrong, and that is the basis, that becomes the basis of actually Bhagavad Gita. That's why the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, because Arjuna is in this confused state, and maybe Krishna knew that in the future in Kali Yuga there will be a lot of, most of the people will be in this state of confusion about their dharma and adharma. So Krishna has brought Arjuna in this situation so that he can teach all of us what is our real dharma and what is our responsibility also. So from this sloka we can understand that uh, Kula dharma transfer to the next generation is also very important, so that they don't uh, carry on the religious activities. So these are few of the points that we can apply in our life uh, to make our life more dharmic and sattvic and close to the religious principles. So if anybody has any comments or questions or realizations, please feel free to share. Okay, thank you very much for joining today. And let us keep reading the Bhagavad Gita every day in this very auspicious month of Purushottam Mas. And please try to do whatever different services that you can do to Vishnu and or Krishna, and try to take his name throughout the day to make the most benefit of this auspicious month of Purushottam Mas or Adik Mas. Thank you very much for joining today. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna.